it's hard to compete unless you've got the best of the best, you know what I mean? But in these categories like the Utes and things like that, you can be competitive without having to have a $400,000, $500,000 race car, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of aspect to it would make it appealing to most, you know. But I know it's not a pathway to supercars, but I don't think at my age,
you don't think it's a pathway to supercars?
No, Super Utes would be.
Super
you know what I
Utes,
mean?
yeah.
Anything more than a support category like maybe a Porsche or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a development pathway for drivers at this stage.
Yeah.
Go! And you're doing it, he's in! That's a massive crash. And it's happened immediately! This is amazing! Big shot, and it's lights out, and away we go!
Why did Western Sydney Motorsport choose to go hypothetically in the Superute or the Super Utes? Why did Craig decide to move from Aussie racing cars to that project? Do you think a bit of momentum there, or?
I don't know that Super 2 is kind of the class that would really be financially, like as a business point of view as well. I don't think that it would really suit what we're about, and I don't think that Tomo would see the value in a Super 2 kind of program, you know, up against these 888s and things like that. Like, it's hard to compete unless you've got the best of the best, you know what I mean? But in these categories like the Utes and things like that, you can be competitive without having to have a $400,000, $500,000 race car, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of aspect to it would make it appealing to most, you know. But I know it's not a pathway to supercars, but I don't think at my age,
you don't think it's a pathway to supercars?
No, Super Utes would be.
Super
you know what I
Utes,
mean?
yeah.
Anything more than a support category like maybe a Porsche or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a development pathway for drivers at this stage.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money to do Super 2, and you know.
But do you feel like there's a lot of growth in Utes and something that can be marketed also for a new audience to bring to supercars?
Yeah, 100%. You know, and that was why the category was built the way it is, with all the makes and things like that. Commercially, they could go out there and say, okay, we can only have 6 or 7 of this car. You've got to keep having different makes, so we can have 7 or 8 different makes with 30 cars on the grid. The only downside to that is parity. You know what I mean? Like, we've got the motor now. That pretty much prioritizes all the power side of it, but you've still got roll center and, you know.
So it's all the same motor, is it?
Yeah, so we've all got the LS3, the 6.2 litre now. We've got the same diff. We've all got the same gearbox. It's just the seal heights and things like that are going to be different. But I don't mind that, because you don't want parity in motorsport. Parity in motorsport's a little bit boring. Yeah. You want a car that's better at turn 7 but not as good at turn 1, and then you want a car that's better at turn 1 and turn. So you got people passing, and you got there's always something going on. If the cars are all the same, you just follow the leader, really, isn't it? You know,
gets boring. Yeah, I do. I totally understand.
So
it's like Formula One. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it just turns into the one thing.
Yeah,
that's why I found so interesting over lockdown when you guys raced there twice. Just the difference in where the feel would change. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it was just you guys turning up on the day and wanting to beat each other and punting each other off the track.
Yeah.
But it's just, as you said, the parity would just make that boring.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more action between the cars as well. Even we had Jaden and that on as well, and like they were saying, there's that little bit of punishment the cars take, but for viewers, it's fun to watch.
That's
but
right.
without everyone getting hurt at the same time, because you want that as well for you guys. But it makes it enjoyable to watch.
Well, everyone likes to see that. More passing, the better, you know. And like at the end of the day, 8 wheels is you get more grip out of 8 wheels than you do 4 when you're leaning on somebody trying to make a corner. So, you know, people want to see that shit. So
yeah.
You know, parity, I don't think 100% parity isn't the way these Utes want to go, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to make it fun.
What's the community like in the Utes community, though? Like, you guys are a tight-knit. You got the Mags, you got Richard Mork there. You got kind of like, you're all together. What's it like a travelling circus every weekend?
That's what I was going to say. It's like a circus. Hey, everyone jumps in. We all have a bit of fun. We all give each other shit. But then if there's something on the track, you know, we come in, we yell and scream at each other. There's that side of it as well. But we're over it pretty quick. So it's pretty good feel in the category too. You know, so like I said, everyone gets over if there's something bad that happens, we all have a yell and scream at each other, and we forget about it and we move on.
Yeah.
But then the next race meeting we'll be putting shit on the same person next time around. So it's it's a good place to be.
Yeah. What, is there a huge fan base that turns up to the race meeting and gets your autographs? And is there like a little community of fans that turn up that are huge supporters?
Yeah, I think it's getting better. In the diesel days, there wasn't too much of that. Everyone was still kind of bouncing off the old utes back then. But now, I think the fan base is definitely growing. They can see that they sound better, they drive better, they do everything a race car should do. And now the management side of the Super Utes, they've actually bring a lady in, Philippa, and she's doing a fantastic job trying to pump it up, trying to pump that socials up, and trying to take it down different avenues to try and get the category to where it should be. Because it's got a shitload of followers on Facebook. I think it's got more than Super 2 and things like that. But I think that's because of the old V8 Ute days. It's just rolled over.
Yeah.
So nobody's hitting the unlike button, so we just got to make sure we keep them interested, eh?
Yeah, and she's got an F1 background, doesn't she, Philippa?
Yeah, I think she's got something to do with something overseas, something IndyCar stuff, or I'm not too sure if it's Formula 1 or if it's some old Formula 3 and GP 2 and but I'm not too sure exactly of her background. I've spoken to her, but I haven't sat down and the whole spiel.
She just joined this year, didn't she?
Yeah, the last couple of rounds. I think maybe the last 2 rounds she's been involved.
Yep.
She's made a real difference, to the way the drivers, communicate with the category and the way that the category communicates with the fans. I think she's really doing a good job.
Did you guys have you more like preparing for on camera, all that sort of thing, and speaking out, about the category and everything, the way you see supercars and Super 2s and that? Has she got more airtime for you guys?
Yeah, that too. So they've got they've always got the camera out, video and stuff, asking people, having sit downs, talking personally as well. Yep. But then there's the social side of it as well. She's really educating everybody on how to approach the fan base on that social platform as well, and making sure that we're tagging the right way and doing all the things that really reach the audience that we're trying to reach. So, it's been a real eye-opener. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, no, that's great, because socials, as we know, is really important, but also very exhausting at the same time, as you can imagine.
And I'm flat out doing Facebook, just on my personal stuff, so I don't know how they do Instagram and TikTok and all that shit as well.
That's what Brooke was saying before. She's so
I've
hard.
just joined TikTok. I've been for years on Facebook and Instagram, but I feel like I'm like, when you've reached a certain age and you're too old for the club, like in my late 30s, and now I feel like I'm way too old for TikTok. I've entered this club and I'm like, oh my God, this is like a rodeo compared to Instagram. I'm like, I'm so old for this.
It's like going back to school again at 12,
That's it.
Like, oh, fuck, I'm not meant to be here.
I got to ask, with Richard Mork, he's 75 and still racing utes. What do you think of him in the paddock? Because he's an old supercars privateer. Is he a bit of fun in the paddock?
Oh, he's heaps of fun, eh? Don't get caught having a chit-chat with him, eh? I don't think you got enough time. But he always has great stories. He's got plenty to say, and I reckon he's a cool dude. Yeah. Even chatting to him about family stuff away from motorsport, he's always got something to talk about, and he's always got some experience to kind of tell. And like you said, he's done supercars, and he'll tell you that he's done supercars on the shoestring budget, and he's the only guy to win a national championship with no new tyres and all those kind of fun little things that he does. But we love him, eh? He's a champion guy.
Keeps you on your toes out there on the track.
He's a cool dude.
He is. He's pretty amped. I got to also ask Paul Rydick. He was a ex-go-karter himself, and he's, as I said way back in the conversation, he helped like mature Tomo's team. How'd that whole team like grow from the Aussie race cars? Is Craig more so like the Phil Gould type of aspect for the team now? Because he stepped back from racing. So how does he approach it for you two guys now that he's got Ben and yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess he oversees everything that goes on outside of, like, obviously he's flat out doing his own thing with Hertz and Thrifty and all that kind of stuff. But when he just does have some spare time, he's the one pulling the trigger when it comes to, what we're doing and what development we're doing, or what direction we're doing, or what cars we're going to have on the grid coming up, and all those kind of things. But Paul Rydick is the kind of guy that gets the cars to where they need to be.
Yeah.
And even he's really good at getting the drivers where they need to be too. Like, it might not be the car, and sometimes as a driver you're always guilty of blaming the car when it's not the car, and he's got this knack of pulling you aside and going, I'll do this to the car, but we need to kind of do this at the same time. And it kind of usually works. So that's why I think that me personally, I bounce really well off him because he kind of sits down and goes, puts you in your place sometimes of where you need to be in a roundabout way without being too aggressive about it. So I reckon having him in the team is really allows Tomo to concentrate on his business a lot more, and he takes care of the day-to-day, but he doesn't do anything outside of building the team.
Yeah, right. So Paul Rydeck essentially runs it and Craig oversees it.
Yeah. So he's just the head guy in there making all the calls, and I guess, if he makes the wrong call, it lays on his shoulders, so it's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah. Was it your call to put the colours on the car, or was it Tomo's?
No, that's all Tomo.
That's all Tomo. Because I noticed it's on your car, essentially, and his, and Tomo's car when he races.
Yeah. Well, the Western Sydney Motorsport colours, I don't know if this has got the colour. Yeah. So the Penrith colours now anyway, so the logo's had a change up. Yeah. And, so we've gone full Penrith now, yeah.
Yeah, shit, I probably won't get a drive because that little...
you'd probably damage you. Any chance that you had, eh?
That name is off the list.
It's gone.
Been blacklisted. But yeah, man, seriously, what's... After your Ute stuff, do you want to have any future in any other racing goal? Do you have any other really racing goals? Do you want to race Super 2 or the 12-hour, or are you just like a casual racer? Just want
I'd love to do something else, but I don't really want to go and put my family's future on the line just to go and race a supercar or do something like that. If the chance come up, the opportunity come up to go and do something and not have to go and put your own money on the line with like a $100,000 insurance policy or something like that, I got no interest in doing those kind of things. But definitely I would never say no that I don't want to do anything like that, like something in the GTs, in endurance racing or something like that, or even, if you could get your way into being some kind of wild card in the supercar, the Bathurst or something like that, as a co-driver or something like that, that'd be cool as well. But I've got no interest in
doing that, like as a full-time gig.
Nah.
Would you have the kids do it in the future?
Yeah, look, we've still got go-karts hanging on the wall and things like that. I dare say that they'll probably end up taking ownership of down the track.
They're pretty excited already.
Yeah.
So
I think Maddie gets more excited going racing than I do sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, like if you say to her, where do you want to go? We're coming home from school, going home. And she'll go, okay, do you want to go shop? She goes, no, I want to go racing. I go, mate, it's dark. We're going home. Like, I can't go racing.
I like the enthusiasm. It's starting young and we're getting in there. She's going to get out
there. Shower and go to bed. What are you talking about?
So you're already preparing the kids to essentially go racing already in karts?
Maybe. Yeah.
I've got to ask, have you given Claire a go in the car, or she played like on a drive day thing or anything like that, or not really?
Not cars. She does have her own go-kart and that, and she's done a fair bit of stuff at Combined Districts.
Yeah, really?
Back when, I was doing supercarts and that, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she's pretty handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've never won a club championship in the go-karts, but she won that ladies thing there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, we should get her on the mic.
Yeah. Some real potential. Yeah.
I'm trying to get Brooke behind the wheel. Do you reckon we should get her behind the wheel and give her a go?
I want to, but like we all keep saying, I'm like, when I get more money, maybe. I'm like, it's not like my other sports, like jump into fight sports. I'm like, I can afford that.
Just jump in a go-kart or something, eh?
Yeah, that's what he wants to get me in that road tax. And I said, yeah, all right, we'll have to get me in there. You and Bart want me in.
It's a good laugh, eh? You need a couple of days off afterwards to rest the ribs and stuff like that. It's always pretty hard work, eh?
Yeah. What would a championship mean for Western Sydney Motorsport? Because you've been so close, like for at least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
You've been the bridesmaid, much like myself. What would it mean for Tomo for you to like win a championship because you got such a good like friendship with him?
Yeah, I think the friendship too, and like he's invested everything that we have at the moment into me and into the other boys and things like that as well. So it'd be great to repay that with a championship. I think that's the end goal at the end of the day. It's nothing about egos or anything like that. It'd just be for us to walk away with the championship together would be something special, and I think that's what we're trying to aim at here. But as you know, luck is a big thing in motorsport, and if you ain't got luck, all you got is bad luck. Sometimes that's the card you got. You just got to keep rolling with it. It'll change sooner or later.
And away you go.
Yeah. What do you do?
So, Craig, we're coming towards the end of the podcast, and I have a game every time at the end of the podcast. and it's interesting. You could actually win your wife and your kids a prize tonight on the podcast, right? You get 5 questions correct, and you get like chocolate, wine. If you get 0 correct, you get like a bogey prize. It's still good, so the kids could play with the bogey prize. We'll start with number 1. What year was the Penrith Panthers founded?
1967.
67 or
1966, is it?
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. We'll give you that one.
Is it 1967? 1966?
Is it 60?
Sure.
You got 66.
Oh, it said on
didn't you,
Wikipedia on 66.
Okay.
Actually, hang on. You know what? We've got Claire on the phone here.
Dan? She's like, let me sort this
We're going
out.
to phone a friend here.
I was like, damn, that's impressive. From now straight
to the question. Yeah, I knew.
like, knows his trivia on the Panthers.
What's it say, Claire?
We're getting a second opinion.
What does it say? Bullshit. Must have been like December 31, mate. 1966. That's
Okay.
bullshit.
Next one. What year did the former NRL player Jack Elsgood win the V8 Utes Championship?
Shit. 2000.
And
The last time he won it? Or
yeah, the last time he won it. Yeah,
2007. Oh, 2008.
2009.
Is it?
9. Oh,
Damn close
oh,
to
he's
these.
getting
Oh,
close.
that's impressive.
I'm gonna have to give you like a prize, which is like like.
Oh, I'm like, this is impressive.
It's pretty close. It's wrong. I don't know. It's hard. Anyway,
You're wrong,
next
you're
one. What year did Bathurst run a 24-hour endurance race, and it was 2 years in a row in the early 2000s? I'll give you a hint.
2002.
And what was the next?
2003.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Brooke, what is it? Is it leading towards a good prize? Or?
I think so. I think
Okay.
this isn't bad.
All right. How many V8 Supercar Championships has Jamie Whincup won?
Jamie Win Cup 7, isn't it?
7. Far out. He's on
Good at your
fire.
trivia.
I don't even like Triple Eight, but yeah. I like motorsport.
And the last one, which you will definitely be winning a great prize tonight on the podcast. What year did Penrith-born James Courtney win the V8 Supercars Championship?
Oh, shit. 2000 and...
With Dick Johnson Racing.
Yeah, Dick Johnson Racing won it at Homebush.
Yep.
2012?
10.
Close.
What was it? 4 out of 5 that he got.
Oh, I
essentially?
think we're close
We're
to
close enough. All right.
What have we got?
Jeez, what have we got here?
Some Hennessy XO or something?
No, I've got some old gold though.
Very right. Happy days. We ran out of chocolate at home last night, so that's
And
great.
fight for it on the way home.
Yeah, happy day. Thank you, boss.
No worries.
Thank you.
Well, Craig, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just astonished in how you just do everything, to be honest. How you keep everything running and running your business, your car racing, your family. It's just been awesome to have you on the podcast,
Sometimes
man.
I don't know if I'm coming or going. Claire can vouch for that. Sometimes we're having a conversation, I'm just looking straight ahead, but we get it all done in the end, eh?
Yeah.
Life's a journey and let's live it.
Want to hear more? Each week we will share the hottest clips from our guest interviews on YouTube. But to hear the full episode, make sure to subscribe or follow us on your favourite podcast platform.